You're wondering why it always looks like I'm looking up. I have a monitor in front of me that's up high, and so it doesn't. I don't want you to think that I'm praying that we make it through class, but that's why. And so sometimes don't you feel like you're praying you make it through the day? I know it happens to me all the time. Please let me make it through the day. And so people are still logging in. Give them a second here. So how about that personality test? Pretty creepy, pretty freaky. But typically right on from what I've seen from the results, right? Most of your results were pretty right on. So I put feedback on your grades. If you go into your grade book, you'll see a little marker out beside there. If you click on it, you can see why companies are using this to try to gauge about where they want to place you. Some people have really strong tendencies to be where you might be more leadership. Uh, some people tend to be more quiet. This is kind of a strange test. How many people tend to be more quiet, more withdrawn, kind of want to just do their work and be kind of in the background? Okay. I want you to know that that is still a good trait. Okay. People like that. They tend to think a lot. They think from point A to point B, all the possibilities. But what you don't want to do is don't be left out. Okay. So make sure that you let those feelings be known when you're in your groups. You will have to step up just a little bit, let people know what's going on, how you feel, but then you can kind of pull back a little bit and do your observations. How many people are in animal care? Animal care people? Okay, Kayla, you're kind of shy a little bit in animal care. Animal care is very much a family oriented type business. You will become very, very close with your fellow workers. So it becomes more of a family. If you are withdrawn, it becomes a little more comfortable because these are your family members. But the thing is, you will have to become a little more vocal because you are working with a great unknown. You're working with a dangerous creature that can be pretty much unpredictable. And when I say dangerous, people don't realize how dangerous a cat can be. You can get cat scratch fever, which is a legitimate thing that can wind you up in the hospital. I work with bobcats, I work with panthers, I work with black bears. Anybody ever see the Gator Boys on TV? Some people seen that show. Yeah, we do dentals on their alligators. Those guys are crazy. You go to shake their hands, they have little nubs for fingers. It's kind of weird. They have like little paddle fingers. Those guys are crazy. Anybody see Dr. K's Animal Emergency Clinic on TV? You might see me on there. I'm good friends with Dr. K. She's crazy. Uh, Everybody in animal care knows that. Known her for years. She's taken care of my sulcata tortoises. When I had them down south, if you don't know what a sulcata tortoise is, picture a wheelbarrow with four legs. We used to move ours with wheelbarrows until they got bigger than the wheelbarrows. And so, yeah, I work with all types of animals. Florida natives, things like that. I run an animal rescue. I know that was on somebody's career plan. They want to run a rescue. This is why you network with people. You find people who do things and you network with them. You find out how to get started, etc. So these are why we do the assignments that we do. You find out your plans, you find out your personalities, you find out. So as we go through these assignments, we're going to start linking this information together. So you're going to have individual assignments, and then we're going to see how all these pieces fit together. And so I have three birds in this room, and sometimes they like to join in. So please forgive me. Uh, so as we go through, I'm going to try to explain how these assignments will fit in. But the first one that was really big was that personality uh, test, and you can see how and where you would fit in a team and how you would socialize among that. And that's critical. And these tests, these Myers-Briggs tests, are becoming more and more common, not just in like the clinical situation, but you're seeing them more in welding. You're seeing them more in electrical. You're seeing them more in HVAC because those are other tight knit groups. And if you can't work alongside those team members, it falls apart. And I want you to think about that. How many people here are doing electrical? Anybody electrical? No electrical people? Okay, I may have electrical. Okay, so you are on one end of a wire. You're dependent on talking to somebody and trusting somebody on the other end to shut that off. If they don't shut that off, you are in the ground. You know what I mean? You could be killed. So do you understand the trust factor that can happen with these when you're working with that circuit box and that center line that we call the widow maker? There's a reason why we call that the widow maker. You don't get second chances and you're dependent on somebody else on your team. So you understand why we have to have trust, we have to have tight knit teams, we have to have cohesion. So it's imperative. If you don't fit in, you're voted off the island. Skills don't always keep you in a job. Your soft skills, and we're going to talk about that. How many people struggled a little bit with those soft skills and hard skills? Be honest, trying to figure out what the soft skills, hard skills are, because we're going to go over that. I purposely gave you that ahead of time to see what you thought your soft skills, hard skills were. A couple people nailed it. Boom. A couple people are like, I think this is a soft skill. A couple people, I think this is a hard skill. Give you a hint, napping is not a soft skill. Okay, pillows are soft, but napping is not a soft skill. Okay, there we go. Phoebe likes to laugh a little. I know my jokes are bad. That's okay. Dad jokes are bad. I have so many fur babies in this house right now. I think I've got 14 of them. Sometimes they do wander in and out. Some of them are considered dangerous, some are not, but I get along with them. But the point is that we are going to learn about them now. But I needed to see kind of a little sample test of what you thought they might be. And now we're going to go into them and define them. All right. Everybody with me so far? Yes. And hello. There's those emojis. Okay. Don't walk away. Okay. Even if that breakfast sandwich is calling, if you didn't bring enough for all of us and aren't going to deliver to our houses, put it back. All right. So let's get to getting here. And so I'm going to do some screen sharing. Okay, so that's popping up on your screen because I see it on my other ones. So here we are on our main screen. And I told you those class recordings would start showing up under this menu. If you look under past recordings, boom, there they are. So this is going to be important because tomorrow, I will not be live tomorrow. You will have a recording that is going to appear here. It's going to say week 1 Thursday. That is going to be out there starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay. It will actually be out there before then, but you won't be able to get into the assignment till actually 12:01 a.m. Okay. I have a conflict that I can't get out of. So you will have an early opportunity to watch the recording, fast forward, back up, whatever. Just remember, whatever I go over in the recording, you are responsible for. So keep that in mind when you take a look at that recording tomorrow. Okay? So I wanted to point that out. I will try to email or text message the link directly, like I do every day, to you, so you'll have that as well. I try to make it easy for you to find everything. So now we've been through the Monday assignments, we've been through the Tuesday assignments. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through the assignments now that we are on Wednesday. Anything that was due on Tuesday, if you haven't done it, a temporary zero is going to start appearing. This is something that I do, so you see your current grade as it goes. Anything once we pass this due date column here, it's going to have a zero if you have not done it. It specifies this is temporary. Okay. Once you do the assignment, your real grade replaces it. But this lets you know this is your current score. Okay. I don't want you to get to the end of the week and you have 100, and then come Monday next week, your grade goes boom down to 20 or down to 30 because you didn't do anything. So I keep it real here. This lets you know, hey, these assignments have been having due dates through the week and you just haven't done them. Now, yes, I'm aware that they close on Sunday and you're perfectly fine to let them go until Sunday. But on Sunday, I don't want my mailbox flooded with, oh, I didn't have time to do this. I didn't have time to do this. Yes, you did. Okay. Don't tell me you just didn't have time. You just didn't do them. Okay. You had a week to do them, then they were spread out. You just didn't do them. Please be honest. No, I didn't do them. I didn't take the time. I tell you, be honest in this class. Okay. Don't tell me you got called off to walk the red carpet with so and so. Don't make things up. Just be honest with me. If you didn't do it, tell me you didn't do it. I try to work with people as much as possible, but don't blow smoke in my eyes or any other part of my body, and we will work together fine. Okay? So as each day passes, zeros will appear if you didn't get to them. I'm aware people have work schedules that you may not be able to get to something one day, but the next day you can catch things up. That's quite all right. I just want you to be aware of where you currently are. So we did yesterday the personality test and that career plan step one. These are your long term goals. These are where you want to be in 3 to 5 years. And I told you, be specific. Okay. Be specific because you're going to be adding short term goals in part two of this project. If you're not being specific, you're going to make this harder as this project goes on. And this project is a 3-part project and it becomes more critical to your overall score in this class. So please, those of you that have already done it, you did incredible. Kudos to you. If you haven't done it, jump on it. Think about where you want to be. And that's an class or a question that's often asked in interview. Where do you see yourself? I always answer the same way. I want to be in your position and I want to move you up. I let them know your job, I want it. I'm quite honest with them. I like your job. I like your money. I want it for myself. I'm going to take your job. You have a choice, move up or move out. There is nothing wrong with being honest in an interview. I want that person's job. If they're the one that is going to be over me, I'm very ambitious. How many people want to stay in the same position? Or put it this way, how many people want to move up and move ahead? How many people want to do that? Yeah, you want to move up, you want to move ahead. Kayla's going into vet assist. Then you can become a vet technician. Then you can become a supervisor. Then you can become a veterinarian, etc. Or you can become an office manager of a veterinary practice. You can become head of surgery. You can specialize in cancer care. Did you know veterinarians have specialty office for cancer care, audiology? For every type of human ailment, there is one for animals. I worked with one that only does eye issues in sea mammals. So we covered eye issues for all the whales, all the manatees, etc., that come in that need care. Everybody has the opportunity to move and drive your career. So think about those things. So today we have our live conference. Please do not forget to do those attendance assignments, okay? Every time you skip one of those, you're throwing away not only 100 points, but I want to show you on your syllabus here. Your participation is 1/4 of your grade in this class right here. See this participation? You're throwing 1/4 of your grade out the window because this class has strict requirements for attendance. Okay, this class is monitored very heavily by the campus because it is a requirement of the state for licensing as well. All right. This class is that important to ensure that when you leave the school, you have the opportunity to move ahead in your career. So it's very key. So please don't skip out on those daily assignments. If you don't think you can do it, try. Okay. Everybody should try. Respond. Let me know I'm trying. I think this is what it's supposed to be. I had that on a couple of the other ones. Your response is brilliant. It lets me know you're learning, you're trying. Don't give up ever. Okay. Giving up is the only way you fail. Always try. Your best efforts are the best. Okay. So now we're going to talk about this first interview that you're going to do. Now, the difference with these informational interviews is you're interviewing somebody, they're not interviewing you. Okay. Now, I had something unfortunate happen last month. Somebody tried to turn in assignments using AI. They wrote them through AI, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I use 3 AI checkers to make sure that they are indeed catching things. It came up over 90% AI on all 3. Okay, please don't do this. Your work is the best work. I want to see your work. So when you submit something, don't use AI to write it, okay? Besides this class, I teach computer concepts and I do all types of side work with other security programs, things like that. Don't try to use AI to write your stuff. You're much better than that. These informational interviews, you're going to find out more about your career. So let's talk about what this is. You're going to interview somebody in your career field. Okay. How many people, right off the top of the head, know somebody in your career? Okay. Talk to them. That's what you're going to do. This is people trying to make this out more than what it is. So you can talk to somebody you know working in the field or even an instructor at the school that teaches that has worked in this field. But it needs to be someone in your career field for this assignment, okay? Someone in your career field. Excuse me. So there's some questions you can ask if you click on this document. There's a whole list of them. Do not think you're supposed to go through and ask the person all of these questions. These questions are just to give you an idea of what to ask in case you don't know. Some of us are very shy and we don't know what to ask. This is to give you an idea or go through and mark some that you want to ask them. Okay, so why do we do this? This allows you to get real world information from someone who works or has worked in your field. This is networking. This is how you get inside information from someone in that field. When it's done right, you won't believe how wonderful this is. People last month were like, I don't know if I want to do this. Well, number one, it's not a want. Okay, there is no alternative. And they're like, well, I can't get and meet up with this person. You can do it by phone. You can do it by email. You can do it through texting. You don't have to be in person. Okay. Today's assignment, very specifically, you just have to tell me who you're going to interview. Only tell me their name, first and last, and how they are related in your career, meaning their position or title. Okay, I'm not going to call their place of work. I trust you until you give me a reason not to. Okay, this is not the actual interview. You are just telling me the name of the person you're going to interview and their position or title. Excuse me. Okay, everybody understand that? Just the name and the position and title. Everybody got that? You have until next Wednesday to do the actual interview and you'll write it up. Okay. And when you do that write up, you'll have the name of the person you interviewed and the list of the questions you asked and their responses. Very simple. Okay. So you will have a week to do the interview with them. And again, you don't have to be in person. You can ask them by text, email, phone, or in person. You can go and talk to the instructors on campus. They are used to doing this. All right. So once you know who you're going to interview, you click Start Assignment, simply type it in here and submit assignment. That's all you have to do for the assignment this week. Okay. You can do the actual interview the same day. Just hold that information till next week. Okay, please do not submit the actual interview this week. Now, most people in the class have already set up their resume appointment. Some people have gone so far as set up a resume appointment and a mock interview. For this one, you come down here, you find your school, because remember, we have people from multiple schools, to see how to set up this appointment. Now, remember, this appointment is between you and Career Services. If for any reason you cannot physically go to the campus, contact the campus and talk to Career Services. You need to set this appointment up. They will go over your current resume, or if you do not have a resume, they will help you create one. This will have keywords. It will have your hard skills, your soft skills, your education. They will set it up to maximize you to be ready for your career. Do not skip this. This is an incredible opportunity. If you already have one, you're not just submitting your resume next week. They need to see it. They are going to sign it. Once they sign it, they will submit that resume back. I need to see that signature from them. That's how you will get the grade back next week. For today, I just need the date and time of your appointment. Okay. So again, please pay attention to the instructions. Do not post a resume here. I just need the date and time of your appointment. We split it up into multiple assignments. That way you're not trying to get everything booked and done at one time. All right, everybody understand those? Yes, yes? All right. I want to make sure everybody understands this because tomorrow's Thursday, and around Southern Tech, Thursday is our Friday because you've noticed we don't have class on Fridays. So tomorrow is the end of the week. So that's a good thing. And so tomorrow, I want to go over this. It will be on the recording, but tomorrow we're going to talk about keywords. Now, I've mentioned this before, and so you're going to look at job listings, and you're going to go out on the web and find 3 job postings. And you're going to look for the hard skills and soft skills in those job listings, because those job listings will list them. And that's what you need to find out. Do you have them, etc. So what you'll do is you'll list the web addresses. You'll cut and paste those web addresses, and you'll list the skills that they mentioned that are in common in 3 of those, and the soft skills that are in common. And you're going to see a trend for your job listing. Okay. So that's going to happen. I'm going to go into detail in the recording for tomorrow. But I want to show you something truly amazing under this big red help button here. So under here, we have skills by profession. Okay. We're going to click on this, and you'll see every position here. And when I click on them, you're going to come down here and scroll, and it's going to list skills that need to be on resumes, skills you need to have, things that you need to think about. Do you have these things that you can talk about in your interviews, things that should be listed on your resume, things you may not think about? Like a lot of welders don't think to list basic computer office software skills. This is why you go through those computer courses, okay? Because they're looking for those, reading blueprints, things like that. And we have them here listed by every single one. HVAC, right here. You scroll down, things, learning to be respectful. You are working with clients in their homes, places like that, things like that. Read what they are looking for. Listening, that is a critical soft skill. If you're not listening to what they are telling you, you could be diagnosing the wrong situation, okay, etc. So go through there, see what they are saying is current and needed for your position. Okay, so that's critical there. The other thing that's in here is keywords. You're going to be doing that resume. These are keywords that you should look to see if you have on your resume. Electricians, these are some of the keywords that they are looking for on your resume. HVAC, keywords you should be utilizing. Welding, vet tech, okay. Animal handling, one of them, I know that was mentioned. Medical assisting, things like this. Check your resume out. Are you using these words? If not, you might want to consider using these words, because that's what they are searching for when you're loading things up on monster.com, Indeed, etc. And they are searching for people to fill positions. They are looking for those keywords. Everybody got that? So take a look at those, because your resume may need to have some of those. Because if they don't, you're being skipped. They're never seeing your experience. They're never seeing anything. You're never being selected. Okay? All right. So let's get to getting. I'm going to do some information here. And we are going to start this. Here we go. So tomorrow, class will be recorded only and will be available at 8 a.m. It's actually available a little bit earlier, but I want you to know, go there to get that daily participation assignment, okay? And next week, on the day of our midterm, we will have a special guest. Princess Phillips will be here. And no, that's Not a joke. That is her name. Princess Phillips from Orlando will be here. She'll be our guest speaker for the day of the midterm. So we're going to talk about workplace readiness, but what it really is the basic skills, soft skills, ethics, digital citizenship, and certification. Excuse me. So basic skills, and this is something that is definitely going to be on the midterm. These are things you need to function effectively in society. This is not a choice. You need to have these just to get around in society. You need to be able to read, you need to be able to write, speak, listen, mathematics, and now technology. These are deemed important to get around in society nowadays. These are not optional. And people want these before they hire them. Okay. Now, uh, then you have what are called hard skills. Okay. So hard skills are job specific. So I want you to think about this. Your job specific skills are hard skills. So running a TIG welder is not something that a vet assistant is going to do. Okay. Now, a vet assistant is going to do a fecal float. That is not something I want a welder to do. If they're doing that, something's wrong in that weld shop. I don't want to know what they're doing in there, but they're not welding. Okay. So a hard skill is something that is unique to your career. So I want you to think about what do you do in welding that is unique. It is not conflict management. It is not being organized. It is none of those things. It is a unique skill to that job. Okay. HVAC, it's checking refrigerant levels. Okay. In electrical, it's checking, circuit load levels, things like that. Those are hard skills. These are the skills that are being taught in the labs, in the shops specifically. Okay, that is a hard skill. The reading, writing, speaking, listening, math, and technology, those are basic skills you have to have for society. Hard skills are unique unto your physical job. Okay, the majority of the classes you've had here at Southern Tech have taught you hard skills. Now we're going to talk about these soft skills. These are called employability skills. They're also called foundation skills, workplace skills, and transferable skills. They're called this because they go across every job. You use soft skills when you talk or you communicate, and you learn them throughout life. Okay. And they fall into three categories: thinking, people, and personal qualities. Okay. So they have different categories. So your thinking skills gives you the ability to solve problems. Even if you don't find a solution, you're still using thinking skills. Okay. Decision making, the process of seeing a situation, evaluating, that is the thinking skills. Okay. Creative thinking, coming up with new things, problem solving, all that is thinking skills. Visualization is a thinking skill. Reasoning, that is a thinking skill. I know that sounds weird, but when you use reasoning, you're tossing the pros and cons back and forth. That is thinking. Now, people skills, these are interpersonal and they allow you to get along with people. Okay, that's where you do your conflict management, things like that. Okay, being aware that you may have crossed a line or hurt somebody's feelings, things like that. Being able to negotiate. Your people skills will allow you to get higher increases, be able to communicate within your teams, be able to stop other people from arguing back and forth among your team, even if it doesn't involve you. Those are your people skills. And these are all soft skills. Okay. Soft skills are hard to measure how well you are at them. Your hard skills, I can do this particular task. I could do this function. I could do that. Your soft skills, your thinking skills, your uh, personal skills, those are a little bit harder. Okay. Leadership also falls under people skills, being able to convince people to follow you, teamwork, collaboration, and respect. Think about that. Okay. If they don't respect you, then you may not have good people skills. Respect is earned. You have to be able to pull people to you to earn that respect. You can't just demand respect. You can, but they won't. It's not something that's flipped on and flipped off. And diversity. You have to be able to get along with people from all different backgrounds. Diversity is a word that people think has one meaning, but diversity, people from all different backgrounds, age groups, etc. You have to be able on the job to get along with them. If not, you're going to be the one that goes. You don't have a company of one particular type. Your personal qualities are what makes you up. Makes sense. Says right there, personal. That's what makes you up. That's your self-esteem, your self-management, and responsibility. How many people own up to their mistakes? Anybody? Yeah. If somebody comes up to you and asks if you did something and you did it, they know the answer. I'll tell you right now, they know the answer. They're checking to see if you're going to be honest about it. Own up to your mistake so it can be fixed quickly, because the mistake still has to be fixed. Be a part of the solution. We all make mistakes. Oh boy, do we make mistakes. I've made doozies of mistakes. And so, and trust me, I can make big ones, you know, but I own up to them. You always own up to yourself. If you're honest all the way through your career, it's so much easier, because if you make a lie, then you have to make another lie and another lie. There's nothing wrong with being honest. There's always something wrong with being dishonest. Now, we're going to start getting into some touchy areas here. Ethics are the moral principles and beliefs that direct your behavior. But workplace ethics define appropriate behavior in the business setting. Okay? So, what you believe is great, but you have to follow workplace ethics. So, you need to find a place that matches your ethics. And some places may not have the same ethics as you. So be careful. You need to do background research on where you're going to work. How many people have checked out businesses and found out that they went against what they believe? Has anybody ever done this? Yeah, it could be sad. You may find out that they go completely against what you like and don't work there. You're setting yourself up for a heartache, okay? If they don't follow what you believe, don't go there. Why go there and just have a miserable time? You're going to spend a lot of hours there. Okay. Now, these people get wrong all the time. So, a code of conduct is a document that dictates how employees are to behave while at work. A code of ethics is a document that dictates how business should be conducted. So, they are both documents. Code of conduct dictates how an employee behaves. So they tell you, you will do this while at work. Code of ethics tells how business should be conducted. So that how business should be conducted. You cannot take gifts while signing contracts. You cannot do this while you're negotiating that. That is a code of ethics. Code of conduct says that while you are at work, you cannot drink, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. That is a code of conduct. And they can specify that as long as you are wearing a shirt or a uniform with our name on it, you still have to follow the code of conduct. Has anybody had this type of situation? As long as you are in their uniform, you are still considered a representative of their company. Yeah, so be careful of that. When I worked at Denny's, if we wanted to eat in there and we had the uniform on, we had to wear a jacket or something that covered up our uniform. Okay, so unethical and illegal behavior includes discrimination and harassment, and they are different. Okay. Ethical behavior is honesty, fairness, reliability, respect, courage, tolerance, civility, and compassion. Unethical behavior is wrong and sometimes illegal. Unethical behavior includes cheating on exams, stealing office supplies, etc., surfing the internet on company time, returning used merchandise to a store for a refund that you already wore. You bought it just to wear it once, take it back. People used to do this. Okay. So that is unethical. Okay. Now, discrimination. Let me go further into this. So, discrimination is unfair treatment of an individual, okay, based on his or her race, gender, religion, national origin, disability, or age. Sexual orientation has not been added to this legally, okay? So it is race, gender, religion, national origin, disability, or age. That is discrimination. Okay, so not hiring somebody based on their age, based on their race, based on their gender, based on their religion. So they can't ask you, how old are you or this or that. So they'll do things like, when did you graduate? Stuff like that. So they'll get around to a way to ask you some of these things. Now, harassment is unsolicited conduct, whistling, making rude remarks, etc. But you don't have to be on the receiving end. You can see it happen to somebody else. Okay. And you can report that harassment. And again, that is based on race, gender, national origin, age, or disability. That does not include sexual orientation. These have not been legally updated. Okay. Now, digital citizenship. Remember when we were talking about how you need to be out there and have a presence on the internet, a digital presence? Remember that very first day? Yeah, you want to have a positive presence, right? Yes, yes. Anybody? Bueller. Remember when we were talking about that? Yeah. So you have what's called digital citizenship. It's the responsible use of technology and the internet. So you want to protect your information privacy, lock down those accounts on Facebook, etc. So only you know who is seeing that. But you also need to respect the work and intellectual property of others. You can't release information on people at work. Okay, you have to be aware of their safety and security, and you must use it for positive communication collaboration because you leave what we call digital footprints. It's never gone forever. It is always out there. Okay, so your digital footprint will always have your websites visited, your content shared, your comments posted, personal information. You can go through and scrub and delete, but it stays there. And we're going to cover in detail this information in week 4. Okay, but I want you to be aware of that here. And cloud computing. Who doesn't know about the cloud by now? But that's all the servers, storage, and software that lets you store things off-site. So Google has them, Apple has them, everybody's got them. Know how to access them and know that if you don't continue to pay them, they don't have to give you the data back. You stop paying, they have the data. Read that contract. It is now theirs. It is like leaving stuff behind in a storage unit or in an apartment and you stop paying and you move out. You have just given them that data. Read those contracts. Know what happens when you stop paying. I jumped ahead there. Whoops, there we go. Okay, so some people don't realize this. It's unethical and illegal for you to download software that's not been purchased and registered by the employer. You have to have a license, otherwise you're a pirate. Okay, you can't just take software home from work unless your company gives you permission to do so. Okay, that's pretty standard. Everybody should know about piracy now. But some people don't know about intellectual property. Okay, ideas, inventions, or process. If you are working for a company and you come up with a new idea, a new process, etc., while you are working for somebody, it is theirs. Did you know that? How many people knew that if you are working for a company and you come up with something new, you lose all rights to it? Anybody know that? It is not yours. Yeah, they have 100% of the rights. It was created while you worked for them. Yes. A friend of mine designed a screensaver for the University of Florida. 0 rights. They have made millions off of it. Gatorade, the licensing for that was made at the University of Florida. The students that came up with the formula for Gatorade got 0 profits out of that. Things like that. When it is created for a company or while employed by a company, you lose the rights to that. Okay, so be aware of what you're doing and how you do it, because you could have great ideas, but as long as you're working for somebody else, it is them. Okay. Plagiarism. You hear mostly this when you are in school. Don't use somebody else's work as your own and claim it as your own. Your work is your best stuff. Don't take somebody else and claim it as yours. That's really low. Okay. Proprietary information. This is anything that a company creates, also called trade secrets, the secret spices at Kentucky Fried Chicken, special way of processing something, product formulas, customers lists, manufacturing processes. Those are owned by the company. You do not have the right to give that information away. You can be sued. You will be liable. Okay? Netiquette. When you are communicating with people on the internet, be proper, type properly, be polite. As much as you want to slam them, anybody ever slam anybody on the internet? I have. It was fun. I can't be the only person who's done that. See, I told you I'm honest. And it's like, it's okay to be honest. Yeah, we shouldn't do that because you know what? That information stays somewhere. Somebody screenshots it. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do everything I do. I'll tell you what I've done, but don't do it necessarily. So when communicating electronically, use netiquette. Be sociable, be friendly. Let the other person slam you and just say, this conversation is over. They'll keep going. This conversation is over, etc. Always use netiquette when representing your company. Say, thank you for your concern. We'll take care of it. Don't get into those arguments. Let them be the Karen. You don't. Okay? Remember, they're human. They're upset. Let them scream at you. They can't hurt you. What are they going to do? They can't climb through that wire. It don't work that way. Know where you are in cyberspace. There, you're on the other side. Respect other people's time and bandwidth. Let them do what they do. Make yourself always look good. Okay? If you have information that can help them, share them. Do not add fuel to the fire. Okay? Don't abuse your power. Just because you can shut them down in a mean, horrific way, don't do it. Say that when you're talking to your friends away from work. And understand we all make mistakes. We all get upset. Anybody ever get upset and just totally blow it and then realize you were wrong? I've done that. And then you have to go back and apologize. Oh, that's the longest walk you ever make, even if it's just across the room, and have to apologize because you realized you had it all wrong. But you know what? We learn, we grow, and it takes a bigger person to know when they made a mistake and correct it. People who say, I never make mistakes, well, number one, there's your first mistake. You can't see your mistake, but we will point them out for you. Okay, certification. I want to tell you, certification. Number one, certification does not mean it is for one type of thing. Okay, it's not for one career. It is not for one uh, profession in any way, shape, or form. Anybody heard of OSHA? I know I should be seeing emojis. Everybody's heard of OSHA. OSHA's good, OSHA's bad. We like them, we don't like them, both at the same time. I'm not going to say what I call OSHA, but the SHA turns into another word, put it that way. So OSHA certification crosses every category of every career, every business. So that's how I remember. Certification can cross every career. That is going to be a question on the midterm. Certification is for one topic, one career. No, it's for multiples as well. So, but it shows that it can get you more money, a better position, etc. So that's some of the benefits because it shows that you took the time, you took the effort to learn something. Okay, this means something to employers. It also means that if they have to have somebody in a team that has certain certifications and you're that one person, you are the one in demand. Okay, so when you go to take a certification exam, there are things that you need to remember, and some of them sound very simple, but make sure you know what is going to be on there. Number one, you know where it's going to be and that it's a legitimate location. There's a lot of certification places that aren't legit and they'll just take your money. Okay. Be prepared to show identification. You have it. You have everything you need for that. Ask them, what do I need to take this test on that day? Okay. Everybody good so far? Yes? Okay, and everybody's aware that tomorrow's going to be recorded only, correct? Yes, yes? Okay, so I want you to think about this question for today. I want you to think about one quality, one that sets you above your competition. This is a competition in your new career field. And one quality you need to improve on. So this is your best and one you need to improve on. So think about it. You have one you love above everything for your career you're going into, and one you think could use improvement. Okay? So That is what I want you to think about for today. Now, you'll notice that these questions every day, I want you to think about yourself and your real world application. And these are all going to roll up, and I'm going to explain how these different assignments will come together here in the future. So stick with me. You're going to be surprised how much you are actually learning already about yourself and about your careers when we start shoving it together. It's going to seem a little chaotic at first, but they will start to come together. All right? Everybody good? Yes, yes. See those emojis? All right. So I will see you Monday. We do have a recorded class tomorrow, but I'll see you Monday. You can reach me by text and by email. Y'all have a great weekend. Watch for the zeros. Remember, those are temporary until you finish those assignments. All right. So we will see you later. Thank you.
Excuse me. Hello?
Yes, you have a question?
Yes. What was the question you wanted us to answer again?
Okay, let me get that for you.
Because I was just, I
Name
had a,
one quality that sets you above the competition and one quality you would improve on.
okay, one quality sets you above. And one that will.
That you need to improve on.
To improve on. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.